Hi, folks. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant. You know, yesterday, in fact, I read a letter from one of my listeners who listened to a previous video post about drawing a beautiful, ugly girl, and he commented that, you know, he's tried doing that. Okay? And the result was still disastrous. And what I loved about his comment was, well, I love the fact that he did comment. Because, guys, what I tell you here is helpful advice. It's great advice. I will admit it is great advice. It will work, but nothing is written in stone. Meaning that these people are human beings, and sometimes things go wrong. And so I guess the question is, what do you do when you've, like I said in the previous post, imagine them as beautiful, where you keep a mental picture in your mind saying, you're beautiful, you're lovely, blah, 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 you're singing to yourself, you're doing all you can to draw somebody, whether it's a man, a woman, or a child, who is less than what society considers to be beautiful and attractive, and they still don't like your picture. Okay, here's what you do. Accept it. Accept it. Because a lot of things are going on here, a lot of things, and I'll tell you a story, about this. Two stories, actually. I remember being at a gig, and there was a woman there. And when I tell you this woman was drop dead gorgeous, I mean, they almost had to give me, what do you call that thing? An oxygen mask and a defibrillator. Clear! Boom! To get me back up. She was drop dead gorgeous. And sometimes the problem with drawing a person who is really, really attractive is it's very difficult objectively for me anyway, to exaggerate them, even if I want to, because they don't have any kind of visual hook to grab onto, if that makes sense. And so, I drew her. Just pretty much a portrait-like, Perfect hair, beautiful eyes, perfect teeth, perfect nose, perfect smile, dimples, the whole 9 yards. Handed her the picture and said, okay, wow, she's going to love this. She was horrified. Horrified. I'm not kidding. At the picture, she started pointing out the flaws in the picture. Wow, you made my nose look like a witch, and blah, 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 blah. And she went away totally unsatisfied with the picture, wanting a redraw and all of this stuff. And all the time I'm scratching my head. And I said, my God, you're a beautiful woman. I didn't do any exaggeration. I just pretty much drew you as you were. And you didn't like it. What happened? Before I tell you what happened, let me tell you another true story. I was at this event. Let's just face it. I know I said there are no ugly people. I know I've said that. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. Please understand. This woman was ugly. How ugly? She had one eyeball that went in this direction, to the right. The other eyeball went in this direction. I'm talking about simultaneously. Like a Cylon, on Battlestar Galactica. Those are the directions of her eyes. And, somehow, they would kind of meet, at different points. But basically, they were going off in different directions. She had hair that was kind of like like buckwheat, almost. Okay, not a lot of it, and kind of in a weird kind of style held together by rubber bands or something. I don't know what they call it, pickaninny braids or whatever. Kind of a style like that. When she smiled, if you ever watched the show Mr. Ed, hello, Wilbur. I mean, seriously, that's what it looked like. Teeth, wildly proportioned. And when she smiled, I tell you, it's like when she smiled again, your heart would stop. They'd want to get the defibrillator and the oxygen mask for that also. Clear, boom, same kind of effect. Okay? I had to draw her. And I wasn't looking forward to it because I really didn't want to hurt her feelings. I did all of my things. You're attractive, you're beautiful. I tried to make her look as attractive as possible without sacrificing the likeness. And folks, I just couldn't. I just drowned. I handed her the photograph and just kind of cringed a little bit, waiting for the results. She loved it. She started raving over it. She started bragging about how she was going to hang this on her wall, how she was going to show it to everybody, blah, blah, blah. I'm not kidding. She started raving on it, how great I made her look. And I started scratching my head because, objectively speaking, she wasn't a beautiful woman and loved it. This other girl over here was drop dead gorgeous. I ain't kidding. And she hated it. And so this incident taught me something about people and their pictures. And it really is this. Beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder. It really, really is, folks. You got to understand. You know, it's not all the time about how gorgeous you draw them or don't draw them. Sometimes you are just dealing with people who have serious self-esteem issues. They have serious body issues, and somehow they're unfairly looking to you to fix how they feel about themselves. Okay? Now, as caricature artists, we're there to entertain. Well, I don't really feel we're there to insult people. Of course, we read people and find out who can take it and who can't, and we draw accordingly. But let me tell you something. You know, there are a lot of people who have mental and emotional problems about themselves, and we just can't fix everybody. I can't go into your head and make you feel better about yourself. That's something that person has to solve. And so take that knowledge in there with you when somebody says they hate your picture or they don't like what you've drawn. It probably really is something that's going on with them inside and not reflecting on the way you drew them at all. Take that with you and then just go on to the next picture. The next person in line will probably love what you do. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant. I want to hear from you. Hey, do you like the shirt? I think I look great in yellow.